guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maddie, and on this channel currently I'm doing a lot of stuff on motherhood because I just had a baby and he's almost 4 months old. He'll be 4 months old, I think, in 2 weeks. And so I'll do an update video on that. And then I'm going to do some DIY and then some other lifestyle vlogs coming up soon. So let's get into this video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my breastfeeding journey. I know it's been a long-awaited video. I've been kind of going to do this video in December, but December's just been busy. So I'm now doing it in the new year. And so I have been breastfeeding for now almost 4 months. As I just said, my son's almost 4 months old. So things that I wish I was told about breastfeeding before I even started my breastfeeding journey. And then I'm also going to talk about tips at the end of this video. So let's get into it. So one thing that I wish I knew about breastfeeding is that everyone experiences it different, of course. So the first thing that I wish I knew about breastfeeding, at the hospital they have you write on these sheets. I never did. I didn't really know it was there. About when you breastfed, how long, on which side of the boob, and how much they got. But my question was, okay, I was feeding him like every 2 to 3 hours, just as they told me in the hospital. But I didn't know like how long or how many ounces I should be breastfeeding. So I kind of didn't know. I know I've taken the breastfeeding classes, but still, like, you learn all of that and then you kind of forget about it too. The second thing that I wish I knew that breastfeeding was going to be surprisingly emotionally draining experience. You're always tired and you always have to eat a ton. You're hungry and tired and you get cranky because of those two things combined. So during my breastfeeding emotional experience, the first few days I have experienced my nipples being cracked and sore and bleeding, and they were bleeding still recently. But I talked to the lactation consultant at the hospital. She gave me a hospital grade, those cooling nipple pads. Those were nice, and then I bought some too. But also baby's latch. His latch was good at the hospital, but I don't know why it wasn't good when I got home. Probably because I was stressed out and I couldn't figure out a good position for him. Some positions would be good, other positions he'd be cranky doing. So it was just a tough journey. And then probably around, he was like 2 weeks old, I had to give him formula. It was just really draining experience just because of the way that his latch was. It was just draining me, making me really irritated. I just needed that help. But my husband's friend's wife uses these nipple shields, and he recommended us to start using that to help his latch so my nipples weren't hurting and weren't bleeding, because I told my pediatrician, and she also recommended me like either completely stop breastfeeding because of that, because the blood's not necessarily good for the baby to have, or use nipple shields to help. So I tried the nipple shields. They work really good. It does take a little bit because you have to run it underwater so it sticks to your boob. And then for my son, it takes him a little while to get the boob to get into the nipple of the nipple shield, because I have what you call inverted nipple. So they don't like perk out. They're kind of just in and flat. So that's also why his latch might not have been really good, just because of the kind of nipple I have. So once I started using the nipple shield, it has helped so much. Oh my gosh. But I still have to supplement with formula because the next part 3, I wish I knew, was it will hurt when your milk comes in. So my milk came in I would say a lot on day 3. It was like I could kind of slowly feel it on day 2 but day 3 it really came in. I had to send my husband back to our apartment because I was staying with my parents because of my birth and I just couldn't go upstairs. So I was staying at my parents' house. And so I had him run and get my pump because they hurt. But once I got like warm water on them, they felt better. And then after I like pumped all the milk out, it felt good. But when you feel the engorgement, it hurts and it's uncomfortable. And if you leave the having like engorgement and you leave it too long and you don't pump it or don't feed your baby like fast, you'll get a clogged duct or a mastitis, which I had both. So first, I would say right after we moved into this apartment, I would say probably like a week or 2 after we moved in here, I got a high fever. It was like 102 or 101. And I was getting the chills. My boob was really hurting. It was super sore. I couldn't get anything out of it. And I would take a shower and I would feel better. And I would still try to pump it. Nothing. And it was definitely mastitis because when I had the clogged duct, it got out once I pumped or let my son nurse and he was able to get it out. But having the mastitis really hurt and I was like sick. It just did not feel good. It finally got better after like I think 2 or 3. I think it was on the 3rd day. It felt a lot better. Like I was good on the the 2nd day. During the day I was good, and then nighttime I would not feel so good. And then by the 3rd day I felt so much better. The mastitis was gone. I was so grateful and relieved. So when you have the engorged boob, pump or nurse your son or daughter constantly. So the 4th thing I didn't know was that you could pump right away, even when you're like 36. I think 36 weeks, you can start pumping the colostrum out. I didn't know I could do that. And I pumped right away because I got really engorged. So I did pump right away. But I didn't know that you can pump or like hand express to get the colostrum out. I wish I knew that. I wouldn't be like so stressing on getting milk out for him. The 5th thing is that not all lactation consultants are the same. They're all different. They like can go over the similar stuff, but they all have their own beliefs. One might work for you and another might not. I did classes for breastfeeding before my son arrived, and some of those stuff helped, but then when I talked to the lactation consultant at the hospital, she had a totally different view on some of the stuff. So I wish I knew that. And I wish I had like the lactation consultant come to my house and help me a little bit more. I wish I did that. I'm likely going to do that with my next kid, like have like a doula who's also like a lactation consultant come and help me for the first 2 weeks postpartum with my next kid, just with like understanding how to get the baby to latch and it's proper and making sure I have enough milk. So The sixth thing I wish I knew was low supply is not always low supply. So as I was saying, I gave my son formula at like 2 weeks old just because I wasn't producing a lot, or also it was like stressing me out because he couldn't latch right and he was getting so hungry and it made me nervous. So I did get like sent some formula like on those PR packages. So I did give him some of those. But your baby is getting enough milk as long as he or she is gaining the right amount of weight and is having enough wet and dirty diapers. That's what my pediatrician said. But she said it's okay if you have to supplement with formula. You just have to be able to feed your baby whatever the best way is, either breastfeeding or pumping. So that is my breastfeeding journey. So it has been kind of up and down and hard. It's been stressful, but I know I completely wish I could have just like solely breastfeed, but I haven't been able to like do that. I have to like supplement with formula, but with my next kid, I hope I can just solely breastfeed. But I do get a lot of those comments from all those other people. They're like, well, I wish that you just completely formula feed because it's a waste of time if you have to go in another room and nurse your baby and none of us can feed him unless you do a formula bottle. That stresses me out. Like I get that from a couple people in my family, but that really like annoys me, that like mom guilt of like, oh, you're hogging up all the time with the baby because of breastfeeding. Those things, and then I've heard like several other things just with like family gathering. It does get kind of hard to like navigating all that nursing, but I'm hoping to create a better pumping schedule and nursing schedule with my second baby. But I'm hoping to at least stick with nursing and pumping till he turns 1 year old with him. So let's get into some of the breastfeeding tips that I have been told by the lactation consultant, my OB, and the pediatrician. So step 1 is de-stress. So if you have a stressful life, your milk supply is also going to go down too. And I know babies from 0 to 3 months, when you're like starting to like understand as a first time mom, it's stressful. So that is like understandable. That I experience a lot of stress with having a newborn and being a first time mom and not understanding, oh, how do I feed him? What is the best position for him? The second tip is do more skin to skin time. That I did like the first like month, but I didn't really keep up after like the first month, and I wish I did. Tip 3 is drinking a lot of water. So during my pregnancy, I drank so much water. During my postpartum, I drank a lot of water, but like you have to like triple what you were drinking before. And sometimes it's just like hard. I'm with the baby. I don't always have time to go get my bottle of water or a glass of water. And also coconut water also helps, like either the body armor or that. Also helps with the breast milk too. The tip 4 is eating healthy and have the healthy carbs like sweet potatoes, beans, carrots, and oatmeal and whole grains, and proteins from meats, and those fatty oils are really good. And then sometimes, of course, having the lactation cookies or brownies, whatever you have, that will help as well. My tip 5 is nurse and pump as needed and as often. And I wish I did that. I wish. My baby was just like so cranky and it was just so hard. Tip number 6 was try to do the power pumping. Like pick an hour of the day that you just sit there, massage your breasts, and within 20 minutes of pumping, and then you take a break, and then you pump again, take a break, pump, and that. Tip number 7 is trying supplements, either like the herb teas and fennel, Brussels, or like the milk supplements. For example, I have one with me right now, and I love this brand. It's the Legendary Milk Liquid Gold. I like this one. Their milk Aposa, their Cash Cow, and the Pump Princess I've used, and they're really good. Another supplement that I've also used is the Milky Mama Lady Leche. So it's like, I don't have them in like the bottle in here, but I'll insert a photo of it at the end of this video. Is you just put little drops in your water, so it's like flavoring. That I kind of have noticed it does help. And then tip number 8 is warm your breasts before you nurse or pump. That has also helped. Tip number 9. I personally haven't tried this. I don't like beer, so I haven't tried it, but I am willing to try it, but I have not yet as of this video right now. But a lot of people on my breastfeeding Facebook group has said dark beer, because it has the brewer yeast in it, has helped them produce more milk or like have enough milk for the baby. So that's what I have. So I hope this video has helped you and with the tips, and you get to hear my journey and what I wish I knew about breastfeeding as well. Have a great day. Bye.